So what's going on here? Our wild card here is a Patreon game for Children of the Nile. Now, I've never played this game before. My housemate, way back in 2000 and something, was playing this game, and I was watching him play it. It seemed kind of interesting, but he would play Children of the Nile, and I would do my part in playing Tilted Mill games by playing Hinterland. I quite enjoyed Hinterland, but... So, in the mid to late 2000s, there was this surge of indie games on the PC. Steam was coming to be quite ubiquitous, and anybody could just ram their games out on it. And you got some real classics at the time, classics in terms of indie games coming out there. Oh man, Super Meat Boy's right up there for the good times I had with indie gaming around that time. But Tilted Mill was also doing similar and pushing their games onto Steam. Now they just came out loads of them. They all came out fairly tightly packed together. They were all kind of similar in terms of quality and even what they contain. There was obviously this, Children of the Nile. There was Hinterland, which I played and enjoyed, and kind of afraid to ever launch it again because I'd probably look at it and go, oh, man, what did I see in this thing? They did Morris of Gettysburg. What was the actual name of that thing? Screw it, I can figure it. Mosby's Confederacy, that's what it was called. Never played that one. I never ended up picking it up. But they also did Caesar 4. I have played Caesar 4. Thank you, Lucas, for sending it my way. But it's not very good. It's not a very good game at all. And notably, we haven't had a Caesar 5 in a long, long time. Tilted Mill, they made games that were somewhat interesting, but they lacked budget and they sorely lacked polish. And I feel that those two went hand in hand. Still, maybe I'll come away with a different opinion after actually tackling Children of the Nile myself. So we're going to give this spin for a couple of hours, maybe a little longer depending on how much I want to push that Mr. Maze time back, because there's punishment to come after this. What's worse, Caesar 4 or Stronghold 3? Oh. Stronghold 3 isn't so bad that it's good. It is really bad, but kind of comically bad. Caesar 4 is just awful. Disappointingly levels of awful. At least you saw Stronghold's gradual decline into what manifested to become Stronghold 3. But Caesar was going strong, and then you get 4. Maybe there are other people out there that would debate on that matter. Caesar 4 actually being a good game, but yeah, I can be stuck in my old ways, as evidenced by my Pokemon endeavors. Still, Children of the Nile, let's actually figure out how to play this game. We get to name our family. I think we'll name ourselves after a very inspirational Egyptian, Seti I. Since it's family name, it might just be better to put in Seti in case it increments for us there. Instead of Marvin or Rita or myself, we'll go by Seti. And yeah, let's figure out how to play. Shouldn't take too long. I'm obviously very good at my city builders. Building an advanced civilization society from the ground up is no small feat. Even the great Khufu needed help getting started. Play through these, become a successful leader very well. Let's do it. We organize society, building homes corresponding to various occupations. People move up the ladder. Money does grow on trees. That's what I like to hear. Proceed, begin, return to the screen. People are important resources, use them wisely. I know this is a small square on the screen, but it will probably grow bigger once we proceed into the game itself. Careful of building middle-class homes just before harvest season. If you do, lose farmers. Okay, so people like to live in the best kind of homes there. Farmer housewives shop for their families, limited time they have to spend to crops. Common shopkeeper households, mum and shop and produce wares shall sell. Taxing, don't make sure she travels to. Okay, so minimize agent distances. That's nothing new in a city builder. Shop keeps close to customers and raw materials. Holy moly, this is a lot to take in. If you can't please all the people at all time, you're progressing and achieving your goals. You're doing great. Yeah, thanks for the pat on the back. Let's have a look at it in the game then. Okay, take a moment to explore your new environment. The local area is populated by several humble villager families. That'll be these folks then. We've got the Bankens family for one, which we can rename. Can we now? Alright, so if these were the Pandy family, I wonder how much we'd see of that. It's got the man and the woman. They've yet to have their offspring. Local areas populated. Da, da, da. They're content with simple lives, but you're going to try... We're going to take away what they enjoy and advance them, whether they like it or not. Specialized workers that build our civilization. Well, very good, but where do we go from here? Oh, it was telling me what to do here. It's kind of covered up by chat as well. Couldn't think of a better place for chat. I suppose I could move you down a bit. That seems a little invasive. Well, we'll see how it does there. We can move around, zoom in, rotate, tilt, and home to go back to the square. They've set up some roads for me as well. Looks pretty gritty so far. Everyone is renameable, says Cal. Everyone, eh? We don't see them out and about, do we? Maybe they'll get out and move once I give them stuff to do. If you get lost, use the mini-map to ascertain. Right, easy enough. Click on the buttons at the top of this panel to review previous instructions or minimize the panel. Very good. Oh, nice. I always like it when I can pause a game and stop and think. Of course, that's not always possible. Can't pause Killing Floor. Don't need to stop and think in Killing Floor though. Just kill and keep moving. We have this world level. It shows our city in relation to everything. Where would this be in Egypt? Far away from the actual civilization, but I'm sure they can live it out there. Oh, we're in Idfu. Gotcha. It's called Killing Floor, not Thinking Floor. Damn right, John. Now, somebody was talking about it recently. Kinda gave me that slight tickle to want to play it again. But I just never got on with Killing Floor 2. Right, so we can pause. Back when I thought P would still be a good pause button. Why? Well, P for pause, I suppose. You can speed up and slow down. Right, there are 3 seasons in the year. 1 day and night cycle lasts about a season. F2 for camera modes, full and normal. Right, I see. It's top down or flexible. I could always keep it on flexible. The palace. You, the pharaoh, and the royal family lives here. Well, I don't happen to see a palace with my name on it. And I would like to see a palace with my name on it. You telling me that I can build myself a palace at all? Designate where you want your palace. Government homes, palace. Ooh, what's a sizable structure? That's the obvious place for it. Don't build anything else yet. Okay, so simple way to get the building done. People go over to it. It's kind of materializing out of thin air, though. I guess the person walked over to it and started building. That's one thing somewhat worth criticizing in Caesar 3. You put down something and it's immediately right there, and all it costs is money. It can feel a bit more rewarding in builder games. I'm going to try to avoid using the phrase city builder, because sometimes you're not building a city. Sometimes it can feel more rewarding to actually have people have to put in the grit and work to build something up. Then again, sometimes you end up with a Tropico situation where it's just an annoyance and you pay to quick build everything. This does not look like a remastered version of Pharaoh, says Rhombic. No. There's mid to late 2000s 3D builder games. They've gone through some rough times, especially visually. Right, we can click on people to select them. And this is Donkor Ftakens. He's the one working hard to bring my palace up. Feels a bit imposing on these poor villagers to go, okay, I'm your new ruler. First order of business is I want you to build me a palace. They're living in wee dung huts and I'm getting... Well, actually thinking about it, I'm not sure if I could trust the labour of these simpletons to build me a palace, but what else is a man to do? After placing your palace, select it, see how construction is coming along. And... whoa, he does the finishing touches quite well. Yeah, these guys ain't too shabby. Right, it's all complete. Personal estate. Farmers will grow food for you. Invite local villagers to join as farmers. Designated farmer homes, preferably near the floodplain where they can plant crops. I guess this would be the floodplain. The water comes in and out. And again, how close do we want it to be to all the water? Click on private homes, build button. It's this one. We can get ourselves some farmer homes. So, okay, I cannot build them right on the floodplain, but I just wonder how far in this water comes. Could it destroy all these houses? I'd find that highly amusing, but probably not for the better. They can be rotated with R. Designate 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They gotta live in horrible, squalid conditions right next to each other. Sure, they're alright with that. I certainly am. For them. Where did otate come from? I was getting pretty mad with oxygen not included, and I believe the hotkeys, which I don't think were labeled in the game, it was O for rotate. So I've started to just call it otate, so that I never forget how unhappy, deeply unhappy I was with oxygen not included. Oh, I would not have my homes so close to water. I feel for the Dutch. Flood brought more good. Okay, well I missed all that. Anyway, we're building up the farmhouses. It's all very simple stuff so far. Let's speed it up. Jagger said I heard Dutch. You're hearing things, Jagger. I do appreciate just how far in you can zoom and how freely you can rotate here. That's something I was really missing in Frostpunk. I feel like devs are kind of ashamed to let people get right up close and see their models. Then you start to see all the cracks in the works. Man, that is sign of the times right there. They seem quite happy with what they have so far, though. So, congratulations, society has its first farmers. There was that hint earlier on not to build too much middle-class housing, or else your farmers will just give up farming and go and become middle-class. Can't be having that. We need them tied to the land, really. Serfdom's great. Why do we get rid of it? Watch the farmers plant and tend fields. So, am I seeing that you don't actually designate fields? You just have farmers who go and see to the land as is. Looks like we've got some stuff planted already. Ah, flax. Used for linen weavers, but I eat flax seeds. I'm not very good at my horticulture, but I can assume it's something that you can eat and make clothes out of. Yeah, definitely. Mayo had flax as a trade good. Flood season right now, Jake. They plant later. Yeah, I can see the water receding, which is probably when they're going to start. Oh, here we go. Click on a person and... Whoa, slow down there, game. What were you saying? Okay, we can stalk people. Track them up close. Yazid Seti. Ah, Seti. Remember, you can return standard orientation with home key. Yeah, but I can also just click off of them. Easy peasy. Wait for the first harvest to come in. You'll have plenty of food to get your society going. Making me wonder what they're eating right now. The Ten Snet family actually have some fish and fowl going for them, so... Ah, these simple people seem to have good enough lives as is. Click on homes, we can see the full families. If I carry family. When you select a person, it shows the home, select window, we can rename them. Family history. Prior. Family history. Is that this one then? No, that's how satisfied they are. Ah yes, farmers and villagers. Right, tell me more about building up what I have. Also, holy moly, they are breeding like crazy in there. Maybe if you build the houses, they will come. Is there a population counter? Educated workers 0. Currently unemployed 0. Not seeing a quick thing about total population that I have, so be it. Starchy, last night was a bit of a massacre on the Pokemon front. There's no one left to fight. It's an abject failure, I'm afraid. Use the clear land, get rid of buildings and trees you don't want. Right click to record, so that would be you. So how much can I destroy? Oh, okay. And it just disappears, or is it marked for disappearing? Wow. I'm a god. Can see why I lead this place. Yeah, well, even black and white didn't give me that level of godliness. You can use the undo button while it's available to cancel construction. Okay, but you can't cancel what you're destroying. Yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of the roads we have. Roads are a lot of work to do. Okay, so this is quite neat.
I think these plants would still grow without me digging at them constantly. But what do I know?
Right. They have sassy lines. Oh, it's already on max volume. I wanted it to be higher.
Very fine. Very fine.
Okay, so this reminds me of a certain kind of fantasy you would have in The Sims 3. And you're getting it nice and easy here. Not bad, I like that. I like it when they just use the land of their own conviction. It's something that I really liked in Tropico, was it 3 or 4? And it kind of was done away with in 5, where you just got these horrible rectangular areas to just plonk down your farms on. This I like, it feels more organic. John knows exactly what I'm talking about. He would, the monster. So they're getting wheat, onions, lettuce. Man, you can grow anything out here. I hope that's me. I really hope that's me. Yes, Balsetti. That's a real powerful name. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of what I look for in a game like this. Allow me to be paraded so that the farmers know exactly what they toil and sweat for. They were only slaves. Yeah, this is the rare face reveal. Just gonna check in the mirror. My eyebrows aren't that dense and I don't wear eyeliner. Other than that, though, spot on. Was he lap drumming? No, but he is shaking his shoulders quite a bit, making it a little more difficult for his wee slaves to carry him around. Alright, that's pretty damn awesome. So, we'll see how the farming cycle goes there. One day and night was meant to be one season, right? Farming families harvest crops and bring them to a threshing area. After the crops come in, Pharaoh and his farmers get a share of the food. Leftover food remains in the threshing area. Watch as your farmers harvest the crops. So if I can keep an eye on... Are you a farmer? You're a child, not good enough. How about you? Straight up farmer. We'll stalk you for a bit and see what you do. I'm unsure if he's still just tilling it or if he's actually going to be harvesting it. Not sure I'd harvest with a hoe, but what do I know about farming? Now we get the update of what he's up to. He just decided to go home for a bit. He stopped when I said it's his rocket health. He turned me into a liar. Well, that's what I'd do. It was like, was it yesterday or the day before? The day after I was out drinking. And I was thinking like, oh man, I could just not stream and nurse this for a bit. And then Baron said in chat, you know, I bet Jake's not going to be streaming today. And then, of course, I knew I had to turn him into a liar. So we fired that stream up. This, I suppose, is the threshing area then? Man, reminds me of that film. I don't remember if it was Bugs Life or Ants, where they made this huge stockpile of food for the large crickets to have. Man, gonna live like a king with all of this. And Darius would know it was ants. And it was grasshoppers. All the same, right? You still stick them on a stick and roast them. So, all the food is dropped here. We got a summary of it, and that is a lot of resource. And I wasn't aware we were growing pomegranates here. I need to look up how pomegranates grow. Do they grow in trees? Oh, I couldn't help but notice. I've got a lot more food than everyone else combined. Oh, maybe here are the pomegranates. Oh, it is. Grenade apples are an alternative food choice for people when there is no bread available. Perhaps the implication here is that these people need a bakery. City builder. Oh, there we go again. Well, builder type games that have these kinds of cycles of income can be a little hard to get a feel for. But my instincts are telling me that I need a baker. Still, I am just meant to watch and wait as the farmers do their thing. There we go. Now that the royal family and the farmers have food to eat, and they certainly have plenty of it, including... Oh, they've got bread already. Did they bake it themselves, or are there bakers? Also, you get a summary of everything you click on. There was certainly flowers there. Flowers, pomegranates. Jake, did you ever go back to Nebuchadnezzar, rather, after it crashed on you? Did it crash? Well, a bunch of things turned me off of Nebuchadnezzar. I can't see myself going back to it. Just fundamentally, it didn't do what I would expect any good city builder to do, and that's feel good. It just looked like such a dead and lifeless game. And that's a pretty damning thing that doesn't make you want to go back to it. Alright, now the royal family housewives purchase these from shops. Well, I certainly don't have shops for them right now. Selling wares is the only way shopkeepers get bread and other farmed foods. Place 4 common shops. 4 of them? Seems a little excessive. Oh well, one of them's going to cheat and be right next to the threshy place. I want my own personal shop. Although if it's common shop, maybe that's not so hot. I wonder why 4 though. 4 seems just very excessive. Can't stick one all the way over there. It's just there to prevent monopoly laws from kicking in. Linen makers, close to the flax seeds. Basket shops, basket makers, very rich inundation. Happy must be pleased, brought more food than we normally see. There's a lot of things I want to be putting down here. Ah, right, I see. They need to be assigned to their type of ware. Click the private homes, common shopkeeper, and place the shops near the farmhouses. Oh, well, I probably should have put them much closer here then. Well, too bad. Too bad. Shopkeepers will choose an item to sell on their own, but better yet, right-click on each shop. Aha! So you sell the linen, you sell the mats, you sell the baskets. Well, you're already a basket shop, how convenient, but I should be the one to tell you such things. Oh, no, I don't have to. Where did I build the last one? Is it you? Pottery, please. Require clay from the river edge to make their pots. Make sure they're... Ah, I like that kind of synergy. Types of common shops. 1 common shop. Basket, linen, mat, pottery. Easy money. Although I feel bad for not having told this one what it has to do. There, I will be the one to tell you it. I'll be honest, ICPT, I was expecting considerably jankier. It's early days, but... Are you able to hear what the guys are saying? It's quite quiet even though it's maxed out. Heard a lot more of it when they were foiling in the ground. Great work. Now they have places to shop, although it sucks if you want to have to go and buy a mat. In a common shopkeeper family. Oh, right, so the shop is also their home? Yeah, looks like they've got themselves child, woman, and man. I think it would be pretty cozy living in your own shop. Everyone's got to have that fantasy sometime, right? Maybe not specifically living in it, but running your own wee shop. Preferably one you don't have to worry about turning a profit on. Can play 2 knows exactly what I'm on about. But I'm going to assume, well, how are these people going to get their food? They're still getting their breads, their pomegranates and onions, so I don't need to worry about that. Nobility, now we're talking. To build a grand and lasting civilization, you need to grow a lot more food. Pharaoh's palace can only supply a small number of farms. You're going to have to grant additional estates to noble families to manage. Well, slow down there. You had me at manage. They will take much of the food from the harvest, but Pharaoh receives a portion as well. Nobles live in splendid townhouses. It's starting to feel like sorting out my duchies in CK3. Of course, no sane person would ever have kingdoms underneath them. Those are a pain in the butt. Designate 2 townhouses and 8 more farmhouses. 2 townhouses. Townhouses. I get the 8 more farmhouses, but townhouses? Still, farmhouses get to go near the floodplain, and there's plenty of space for it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Townhouse. I'm also wondering, okay, these do cost bricks, although I don't know where the bricks came from. Noble houses, Jake. The nobles get the town. Okay. Hefty. Alright, you guys go over here then. Certainly messed up the placement there, but there you go. And can I get some roads as well? Okay, the roads don't seem to need any time to be built, they just go. I'm getting more a sense of ancient Egyptian Banished than anything else. Incidentally, when did Banished come out? My heart tells me that it was 2011, but I could well be wrong on that one. Yeah, not too fond of these nobles getting houses that are almost as big or good as mine. It just takes the noble to inherit this other noble, combine the 2 houses and have an even more splendid home than me. 2014? It was that late? Huh, that doesn't sound right. That definitely doesn't sound right. 2014 was... No, I'm not buying that. I am curious where they're getting their bricks from. Wikipedia, don't lie. Well, Wikipedia is still made by people, and people make mistakes. I'm unconvinced that Banished came out in 2014. Banished is a city-building video game developed by Shining Rock Software, released for Microsoft Windows on February 18th, 2014. Nope, I still don't believe it. Sounds like revisionism to me. There's a conspiracy trying to make us all forget what we were doing prior to 2014. Your city will soon welcome its first nobles. They'll want to buy luxury wares as well as common ones. But there's a difference here. The only way luxury shopkeepers can get bread is through the sale of their wares. Never build more luxury shops than existing customer base can support. Well, that makes you wonder how many can we support with this? Right-click luxury shop, indicate what luxury wares should be made and sold, or let the shopkeeper choose their own. Well, we'll give you 2 here. 2 seems like plenty for now. Also, these poor farmers haven't got their homes yet. Get to work, folks. Insufficient estates for more farms. Right, so we need these guys to come in to allow us to have more. I think I recall you also being able to upgrade the palace, Jake, though not in this scenario, perhaps. It seems to be blocking us out from certain things until it tells us about it. Then again, I've got Baker and Brickmaker, and I haven't used either. I just wonder about supplies. Where do I see bricks and such? Scenario info? No. Oh, you can take a snapshot? I'm not going to risk pressing that. It's farming season. No building. Mostly farming. Aha. Next to the map, edicts. World level. Pause. It's quite content with me. You've achieved nothing of note. Ah, resource report. These didn't even look like buttons. Ah. There are no bricks. Fortunately, the farmer homes don't need bricks. These things most certainly do, though. Go back to their farming. Good old try buttons. Occupied, total. My goodness, there are 6 types of luxury shops? I'm not really sure that we want to have 6 luxury shops for 2 nobles. You figure out what you want to have on your own. Oh yeah, maybe I want my own luxuries as well. Now that makes a lick of sense. What are you doing here? You're doing the jewelry, and you're doing the perfume. Yeah, let's get my own private luxury shops. Get my game station right here. I remember long ago seeing some artwork that I liked. I believe it was called something like Pharaoh is unimpressed with DDR. It had some guy turning a tapestry around some wheels to make arrows go up. And I think some stone pads to be stepping on. And the Pharaoh is just so unimpressed with it. I hadn't remembered that at all, but playing this game reminded me of it. So sculpture, cosmetics, furniture, sandals? Yeah, why not? Have some sandals. Noble women will enjoy shopping at luxury shops. I believe the implication was the women do all the shopping for the houses. Also, bit of a boo-boo. The business side of the shops are facing away from me. I should have rotated them. GPix found it. Pharaoh is unimpressed with DDR. I wonder if I can bring that up. I'm just enamored with this picture. Is this gonna work? There we go. This came to mind when playing this game. He doesn't look Mrs. Pharaoh's just trying to put on that smile. That's the this is my son's room, he's quite a gamer kind of smile there. Brilliant stuff. Wow. That's a blast from the past. Alright. Right, the people become dissatisfied if they can't get bread and wares that they're after. It shows a much better looking city than my one here in this example page. Selected item area shows dissatisfied. What are you talking about? Well, these are the items, and it shows whether or not they're getting what they want. Right, there's a significant lack of... is that common wares? Can't get enough types of wares. Keeping everyone satisfied can be very challenging, particularly when your society is just starting out. So what counts as wares? Where? Oh, right. These are all sorts of wares. And I suppose the problem is that I put you way too far away. Well, that sounds like these guys' problem. All in all, they're quite content with me. So what if you have to walk for half a day to go and buy a mat? You should be taking better care of your mats. Are you winning, Moses? Please, please. We're not Moses here. We're Baal, Seti, and Ramesses is next in line for the throne. Right, very rich indeed. We can build servant shacks. Near the townhouses. These were the townhouses, were they not? So this means my nobles can have the slaves that they want. Are slaves a trade good? Couldn't arrange a funeral. Ah, surely there aren't people dying around here. Actually, I'd like to listen to my people for a bit. Are they still farming? The complete freedom I have with camera can make it a little tough to navigate. Oh, now I'm patting my knees. I'm thinking about how I wish I'd bought that DDR from the traveling merchant. Egyptian flavor of Eurobeat running through my head. Got that kind of thing going above my head? It's just because it's me and I'm selected. Very good. Servants are here. Women perform most of the shopping if a household has trouble acquiring wares. Maybe there's no lady of the house. Finding a spouse can be a challenge for a nobleman when your society is small. Lack of bread will also result in trouble buying wares. Don't automatically try to fix wares problem by building lots of shops. Having all the shops in the world won't help it if people don't have the means to purchase. Right, so you're telling me have the flow of goods and have the bread that people can afford it. And of course lots and lots and lots of food. Which means we need a lot of farmers. So, although this game doesn't have wood for a wood economy, farmers are essentially the wood of the wood economy. Let's go on a bit of stalking again. Slow down there, farmer's wife. Is that really bread? Barley bread and wheat bread. Oh, jinx. You know, I've got just the name for you. Befitting. Well, we should finish it off there. A friend of mine does a lot of traveling, especially around Africa, and he says he's amazed. They don't even need their hands up like that. They can just walk or run about with you know, the equivalent of our bags of shopping, just put in a basket or a vase above their heads. I'd like to see that to believe it. Right, some people don't need people don't need, but they prefer them. They're a great tool in helping plan your city. I agree, and the fact that roads are free, quick, and easy to place is a nice boon. I'm never the biggest fan of gridding in my builder games. What happens if I build my road into the estate? Huh. Okay. Is there any downside at all to just covering the whole map in roads? Well, there's bound to be some. Place roads, paths, infrastructure, use the remove. Right, it wants me to actually remove some road as well. Chunk. Okay, game, I feel like I've got the basics here. What else is there to know? Yes, bricks. Potentially the also wood economy of this game. Your society is producing a good amount of food. It's time to turn your efforts towards building up governance so you can provide healthcare. Excuse me? Oh, that'll be $7,500 to change your nature, please. Yeah. Brickmakers make bricks in their home workshops called brickworks. All bricks. Bricks are made from clay and either papyrus, reeds, or rushes. All gathered by brickmakers or their children. Right, so it sounds like we need a gorillion brickmakers. And it's pretty big. Well, they're pretty big. They're gonna need dirt and stuff, so there we go. Lots of bricks to be had, please. God, if I was on my society here, it would definitely be for-profit healthcare. I certainly don't see a forum set up to go and tax these people, and what would you even tax from them? Get some sticks and reeds, and at best a slice of rye bread. Egyptian NHS. The largest employer in all of Europe, the NHS. I'm not going to take back what I said about them clearly not having the polish and the budget.
Hi there. How are you?
But there was some soul going into this game. And unlike Eternal Darkness, it's not actively hurting me. Yeah, food is much... Man! Oh, now there's a whole lot more of them and a whole lot more farming being done. Thank you, nobles. Right, your brickmakers are getting started. Bricklayers build all the brick buildings by retrieving bricks and brickwork, transporting them to construction sites, and laying them in place. So you want brickworks everywhere then, if the bricks are taken from here. Oh, no, you designate the bricklayer's home. Is the bricklayer a caste of individual? Well, it's obviously not a very patrician standard of life, though. Well, I'll shove you over there. He just gets a tiny wee home. I think Pokemon could go in the category of actively hurting you. It was a different kind of pain with Pokemon. Okay, this is outrageous. These homes look better than my palace. This looks like what you saw from the Prince of Egypt, where the child comes along on the water and is picked up by...
Ooh, nice headdress. You think you're so great.
This sounds like insubordination. Do we have the Tropico levels of kill these people buttons? It would appear not. I get to live for now. Yeah, bricklayer is invaluable, but they don't like hauling bricks. They'll tend to retrieve bricks from the nearest brickwork, carry them to the nearest construction site. I understand. So I can get my own personal granary, fountain, murals, menagerie, garden statues, and wall, and they all cost food and bricks. So what I'm hearing is I can have a large destitute population managed by my fat nobles so that I can harvest all the bricks and food to have the most glorious palace around. This game tickles me. Okay, we get it. Bricklayers, they don't like hauling it around so much. Now that you have bricks, you can build a bakery to pay my workers, as if. Still, I love bakeries. Well, let me put that differently. I love good bakeries. Life in Sweden has been difficult. They don't understand at all what a bakery is or should be here. I guess they just didn't have proper bread culture. You see, Baron, a big part of the trick of being a great city builder is being able to work without just having a whole lot of large statues, and even not using oracles. Designing blocks that are efficient enough that you could use large temples and other such buildings to improve desirability. Well, it's a difficult step to make, and a wholly unnecessary one. But you must feel a little sick on the inside using the same palace block over and over. I'm sure your creative heart yearns to make something as beautiful as what I want to make my palace look like here. Swedes probably eat fish with fish for dessert. Now, I love fish, but there's more to life. Alright, let's get those bakeries operational. It said build a bakery, but yeah, maybe I don't need to. So can I just remove the building? Track. Info. Ooh! Nice, I like games that actually have almanacs in them. And this I like a lot. Straight out of Caesar, this. You get the historical context for it as well. Egyptian bread was made with coarse emmer wheat, or from barley, or from a millet grain called durra. Women did most of the grinding. Some things never change. Men pounded that into a very fine flour, separated bran, fed to animals. Filtering was crude. The dough had lots of sand and fine shards from the grindstone. Very tough on the teeth. Yeah, you can tell that from a lot of old dental records, what they eat. Since most Egyptians ate a lot of bread, they had terrible teeth. Dental diseases often contributed to early death. Bread dough consisted of flour, water, sourdough. Yeast wasn't used until quite late. Surprising. Those who could afford such things mixed oil, herb, and set. Oh, this is dangerous stuff to be reading. Could well go for baking some bread. Maybe later. Maybe I'll need something to cleanse the pain of Mr. Maze later on. Still, it doesn't change the fact that I think having 2 bakeries might be over the top. But I don't think... Ah, there we go. The clear thing destroys the building. If you upgrade the palace, you get more Ooh. Is there an indication of how many farmers I can support here? There's me. There's my woman. Baruti Seti. Nah. I only have 1 child. I need another adoptive child to come floating in on the river. I'm going to use an Augustus playthrough, the goal of creating pretty city. Ooh, aye, Baron. Is that going to be streamed or not? I'm going to assume it'll be streamed. Your streaming machine. It'd be nice to have pretty city competitions, though. Putting in blind submissions for who did what city, and then putting it to a vote as to which is the prettiest, so that people don't know whose are whose, because otherwise that would poison the vote, I'm sure. It was pretty good when we did, what was it? We had different people doing Londinium and some other one with a river running between it. Although, I kind of want to build something beautiful in this game. Bricks and food constructed whenever the government employees... Okay, kind of get this now. Bricks and food are vital. Okay, so we want lots of bricks and lots of food. And now we see. They're so important that they get 2 of the very rare pieces of information on the GUI here. If you hover over the modest residence, you can see how much farms or noble palace hover over them. Number of graduates. Graduates. That word is ruined for me. Hover over the modest residences. Not sure what or where I'm looking at here. It was the when you hovered over small estate. Aha, here we go. Supports 4 farms. Enhanced by a pool. Why did you get a pool? You didn't get a pool. But you have a servant's quarters. You both have them. The servant quarters. Still good to know. What about me? I support 6 farms. I assume farms, it means farmhouses, since we got 6 off the get-go. And since they both support 4, it supported 4 more farmhouses. Okay, I quite like the systems that I see here so far. Your people are most important resources. Use them well. I'll use them, alright. Keep track of growing society. Make sure it remains comfortable, balanced, well satisfied. Congratulations! Keep an eye on your farmers. If you overbuild shops, brickworks, or bricklayers, overambitious, take on these new roles. Too little bread, everyone will suffer. The max farms number on the people report. I'm assuming that's the report I'm on right now. When you're ready to continue, click the Eye of Horus. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if there's more I want to learn from this. Enlightenment and immortality? I kind of want to get stuck in after that. Right. Campaign for Seti. Let's do it. Show me what it's all about. You are Pharaoh, King of Egypt, ruler of the children of the Nile. That name drop. Through 5 historical periods, you and your dynasty lead Egypt through peace and turmoil, building a legacy that will endure forever. Very well.
Egypt is vast and powerful beyond the imaginings of our ancestors. Now this great nation needs a grand city to serve as its capital and attest to your glory. This fertile region of the Nile is an ideal location for a great city with ample resources and a vast floodplain. The perfect soil in which to grow your capital. As Nekin thrives, be sure to turn your attention outside your new city. There you will find the luxuries, resources, and opportunities that inspire your fortunate citizens to praise your name with every breath. Build Egypt's new capital for the glory of Horus, for the glory of Pharaoh.
The mysterious voice makes a good point here. The glory of Pharaoh. Large noble population, 6 estates, enhanced to luxury level, large estates, and prestige. Well, maybe I should have learnt a thing or two about prestige, but I'm sure it'll come along nicely. Let us proceed. Let's keep it slow, though. This is where I started off when I checked to make sure the game looked and sounded okay. These I didn't quite figure out, though. I guess these are just hovels with useless people that don't do much, and I need to build up the farm areas for them to actually get productive. Massive floodplain. Seems like I could be having plenty of food here. And I wonder... Oh, wait. Well, what about all this land? This looks like a much better place to do it. It also looks very similar to where we did our tutorial, but I can live with that. Okay, well, I'm going to storm in and force these people into my own enlightenment. And for that, I of course need my own palace, right? Unless the palace is already built up somewhere, but I suspect not. No, I continue to suspect not. Let's change our orientation to yonder. This feels like a nice central area. Good place for them to get food flowing for me. So we start out with the which one did I... Where's my palace at? I thought it was under government facilities. Government homes, soldier, bricklayer, Paris, palace. There we go. Gotta start with a palace. And yes, you can certainly have too many palaces. I wonder if I can destroy these scrubby homes over here later on. So, we get that, and then we're going to need our farmers out here to work the area for me. I can remove this stuff. What is this though? Is this important? Papyrus. Used by map makers, furnitures. Okay, how about this stuff? This stuff's just grotty nonsense, I'm sure. So clear it away. My serfs need a place to serve me. And let's infrastructure up with some pathing. They should be honored that they have a road that leads straight over to my glorious palace to be. Honored to serve as well. Ironic, I was finally on a patrician sleep schedule, only for the few streams to start in American-centric times, says Frozen Kaiser. No, I was obviously planning to stream far earlier today, but Pokemon went way into the night last night for all the wrong reasons, and by the time I woke up, the day was half gone, and I had a lot of chores to do. Pokemon is right now second only to RimWorld for destroying my real life schedule. I know it might seem like I do nothing but sit down and stream games, but I do have a home to maintain, cooking to do, cleaning to take care of, laundry, all those sorts of things that can only be put off for so long. You're right though, Modo, the addiction tends to always win. It's one poor sap's making my home. Half Sa in charge of building a palace. Wonder where he got the bricks from. Actually, is that what this is all about? Storage here. I suppose when you put down your first palace, you get all this storage stuff. That's what I'll assume, at least. In any case, I can support 6 farms, and hey, those farmers are getting to work. And those poor farmers are going to need some goods. Looks like they start out not having problems. I guess over time the problems will arise. Yeah, and Darius, it's a shame that it's over, but it's the permanence of loss like that that makes it compelling to me. If it could just go on forever, then I'd end up like Simpsons season 33. I thought you just cooked all your stews once a week. I haven't done my food like that in quite a while now. I wanted to get better at cooking, so I cook something different every week. Something that I'd never cooked before. How many shopkeeps? I think they needed 4 commons. You just make a square of it. Path around it. I'm not sure if we're under any kind of time stress. There was this idea of building up. I'm sure I saw soldiers somewhere. Well, training ground, guard post. So the game likely has combat in it. When city builder games don't have combat in them, there are very often voices on discussion groups and forums and that which say, oh, if only this game had combat. Why doesn't Banished have combat in it? It's like, why would Banished have combat in it? What does it stand to gain? Caesar 3 has combat in it, and it's pretty terrible. It's really just there to push you on economically, despite what some map makers try to make you go through. RTS lovers forcing you to play with the combat mechanics of Caesar. How dare they? That said, I haven't made a big pot stew in quite a while. Winter's around the corner, so that might come back into being the norm. It does have combat. Have you not seen the tornadoes? Sure, it's one-sided. No, no. Like any sane city builder, I turn off natural disasters. Oh, nice city you have here. Let's just destroy it and make you rebuild it. So, okay, could we not? Rocket Elf is saying I'm making them hungry. Not too bad.
I was lucky for Ra was born this month. Looks like another scorcher today.
What would be an Egyptian's idea of a scorcher? Where's the world map? A scorcher over here in... Where is this? Hold on, there appears to be some sort of interaction with other cities around here. Upkeep, yield, expeditions, food, envoy, prestige. Okay, this game's got more going for it than I would have imagined coming into it. My expectations were low, because it's Tilted Mill, and whilst they make interesting games, they tend not to be that great, but maybe I will fire up Hinterland on some other wild card just to refresh my memories. I hate to talk about something that I know nothing about, and now I'm starting to think that I'm running my mouth when it comes to these games. Come on, my city, my royal prince. You're in Hierakonpolis. It's got polis in it, so it sounds like a good place. So everybody's busy farming, so I'm not getting things built. That's okay. As soon as the farming season ends, I'll pull them all back and get some proper work done. The implication here seems to be to me that you're going to run out of places that you can farm after a certain amount of expansion, so there's going to be a limit on how big populous your city can be. Perhaps that's why you're able to send out expeditions, outsource some food production. I recently got a commercial driver's license, says ASDGR41. The learning process is pretty fun and I wish I could own my own truck and teach people how to drive. Is there a compelling reason why you don't? Working is one thing, but working for yourself...
Are monuments really built by little green men from the sky?
Are what built by little green men from the sky? Well, that's why you take out a loan, ASDGR41, then crash the truck and make the bank very unhappy. That's what I've been taught by Euro Truck Simulator. Actually, UK Truck Simulator had the best truck crashing and company disheartening mechanics. Not convinced there's much I can really do whilst everyone is still farming. Good thing we can put it to 250% speed. Having a loan is working for the bank in a roundabout way. Well, if there's an alternative to getting a mortgage, I'd like to hear it. Right, looks like they're just waiting on things to mature before they go and harvest them, so they're building up these shops for me. Mats, linen, pottery, and baskets. And I'm also thinking the sooner I get my fancy people homes up, the sooner I can have a lot more farmers, and I want that before the next season comes in, surely. So the right thing is likely to flank my own beautiful home with homes for the nobility. Is it worth having a road between them? Yeah, probably. There's a couple of nobility homes. Some path leading up between them. Moss Mori says, have you ever tried not being impoverished? Impoverished builds character. I'll never forget having to sell my beloved game Terra Enigma just to pay the rent. Whose retainer is these? Oh, I assume that's the woman of my house. Gab City. She keeps my heart in check as I banish the Hebrews. And by banish, I mean kill all the firstborns. Right, so they are blocking the fields dry, as they should. And then they can get to work building up the homes of their betters. And then they'll be flanked by further farmers. I think different standards, right? So what we would call misery, they'd probably think is the greatest happiness. He's probably really happy that he has no shoes and his back hurts from bending over all day. And look at that. Free child education. Vocational education, perhaps, but they're getting to it. Yeah, Real Decoy, Terranigma. It's one of my all-time favourite games. I'm not sure it would make my top 5 anymore, but it's still very special to me. Waiting for the nobles to migrate over, and once they do, we'll know that we can have ourselves more farmers. Maybe I should preempt such conditions by putting down the farmhouses, especially since both of these are built up now. So, more farmer land, more farmer houses. And I can have 8 more since these can both support 4, right? Well, it doesn't tell me, but they did in the tutorial, so I'll believe that they do here as well. Farmer. Seems like it's spaced out by 2 there. What if I just put a little path between them? Is it still going to space it out like that? Infrastructure path along here and down here. Maybe paths count as too thick. Oh, perhaps 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't do it there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wonder how this game handles when your cities get quite large. Banished had a huge problem, colloquially known as the death marches, where your city's too big, people walking from one end to the other starve to death on what they term the death march, or in winter they would freeze to death because they didn't have the wherewithal to enter somebody's lovely toasty house to visit and warm up. That game had tragic problems, many of which I think are fixed by now, but I haven't. No, I played the game not that long ago, didn't I? Yeah, 5 years ago. I think I called it Amish Simulator the stream. Keep missing what they say there. Some subtitles go a long way. It handles pretty large cities up to a yeah, I believe it was fixed at some point. There was a dev blog about fixing it by making them actually go into houses. Maybe it was carrying food on them, just stuff to prevent them dying. Good call. Right, I don't believe in keeping the slaves close to my palace. You can have them next to your place here. Give you a couple of slave houses there. And I need to hit up TK Maxx from my very front door. So let's get the best of the best here. A 1, a 2, a 3. TK Maxx, Game Station, the McDonald's. Competitive Burger King as well, but truthfully I'm just going to visit this KFC. And running out of shop names to delve into. Put a Lidl over there. Oh, the less said about the banished mods, the better. I bounced right off of them. I didn't even want to remember playing it, so I didn't keep the VOD. And I gotta say, I've done a pretty great job at forgetting about it. Having a poor memory can have its advantages. I don't think I've ever seen a designated donut shop outside of Krispy Kreme, which did appear in the UK and anywhere in America. I'm not the biggest fan of donuts and dough rings, but Krispy Kreme ones are pretty good. Right, you do the jewelry, perfume, sandals, sculptures, furniture. Last one here will do cosmetics. Cosmetics for all these femboy Egyptians. No Dinky Donuts up Scotland way? I think it was a KFC that opened up in Elgin. I don't mind saying that Elgin's near where I live. We've covered that one often enough with Elgin FC. And when they opened it up, the sheer amount of traffic caused all the throughput up towards Inverness to just stop, because there's one main route up to Inverness. KFC was put on that, and just everybody coming to see the novelty that was this fried chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken like. It just blew the locals' minds so much that they decided to ruin the economy to go and check it out. Right, it is work time for my people. Well, not farm work, but other work, so I should take the opportunity to have them build up the brick maker. Now he needs to grab a bunch of the stuff around here, and I'm sure he'll do a bang up job, so I should just put you here. Nice central location for you as well. That means I can also have a brick layer nearby. I don't know if it's good to keep them close or not, but for now we'll put it in. The game doesn't seem too punishing for making mistakes like that thus far. And, oh jeez, getting a bit swampy in there. Jagger and the other Dutch sweating profusely at having no good dike set up here. Where's the water breakers? Where's the wall? What else is pretty important? Probably the bakery. Now I like bakeries a lot, provided they're good, so I'm going to keep that nice and close by. I don't know what you're talking about there, Equinox. Now granted, I've been playing a lot of Arse lately, and this ain't one of it.
Oh, it's no big deal. At least I don't need government bricks.
He says at least he doesn't need government bricks. The animations are rudimentary, but they're certainly fit for purpose. I've seen a lot worse in recent releases that are not quite as indie as Tilted Mill. And I guess they're not fully indie. They had a publisher. Who was their publisher? It was, I forget. Come on, folks, get building. Your farmhouses won't build themselves. Right, I think it's causing people to leave these hovels, and the hovels then disintegrate, because I recall there being more hovels next to my palace earlier. This is quite good. You kind of like breed them out there and take them out for your enlightened city as you need it. This could actually be one of the better city builders I've played in recent times. Eternal Darkness was a roller coaster of emotions. Let's not say I hate that game. The game is pretty bad, but to say I hate it would be completely whitewashing the emotions that that game evoked. They had to rush this out to an extent, so it's not as polished as it would have been. Let's face it, Tilted Mill, one thing they don't tend to do is polish. I don't know what caused a slew of the game releases in 2008, though. Maybe my dates are messed up, but it didn't seem like there was much space in between their releases. Oh yeah, iFleet I didn't like it all. Is Timberborn still in early access or not? I played it way early into development, and I didn't see anything compelling about it. I was like, okay, it's banished with beavers, and it looks Well, it looked very alpha, or very pre-alpha, because it was pre-alpha. Right, I feel like I've got the basics set up, and oh, it's just about farming time, so hopefully these farmers are ready to rock and roll. Just about, 2 more and I'm up to capacity. I wanted to fill this up with food so that I can get myself flanked with another couple of nobles to get myself more farmers, and then I think it's time to build up a military for the police state Egypt that I've always dreamed of having. It's nice to be loved, but it's important to be feared. Yeah, 2008, that financial crash. I didn't really notice much of that, but there's a lot of talking about it. I remember at the time one of my friends said, do you think we'll think back in this moment and think of ourselves as, you know, people of this, what was it, like, people of the financial crash, but talked about in the same way you'd say, like, people in the Great War? No, I don't think so. Forgotten it even happened. Okay, Equinox is really shilling up timber born for us all. Early access is such a curse for my interest in a game.
Grow without me digging at them constantly. But what do I know?
It's impressive they grow such a variety of crops next to each other like this. Probably helps with fertility. If they did nothing but tattes along the whole patch, the soil would probably go dead after a while. One of the worries I had when firing this game up, especially the first time I saw it, when you're greeted with this, I had a significant worry that the game was going to feel like Nebuchadnezzar, where there's just nothing happening on the map. And that's what made Nebuchadnezzar kind of die for me. It was just such a dead-looking game. But here, oh, look at that. The farm's growing and shrinking, people actually working and moving about. They don't even have to actually be doing something. I just want to see a city that feels like a city that's alive. Even the wee... oh, there we go. Incredibly rudimentary looking. I mean, the Nintendo 64 could make something that looks like this. But it's important to me when I build any kind of city or whatever you're building in a building game to actually give me that kind of feedback. Feel like it's alive. And I'm pleasantly surprised that this game is doing that. Okay, wonderful. Speed it up once it's... well, actually, what I should do is check and make sure everybody's getting what they want. Not enough bread to purchase wares or too few shops. Well, we can check the shops, see if they actually have what they're doing. No baskets for sale. Do you need to get to work? Few linen, no linen, few mats, no pottery. I don't have a good feel for the scale of this, but perhaps the implication is that I need more shops. Does this control any better or worse in black and white too? It controls a lot better in black and white too. I wonder if there's a problem if I just keep it boxed in like this. I'm glad I spent a year stalking on YouTube and looking at the chat. I like the chat culture here. It says AskDGR41. And they're quite right. It's taken a lot to cultivate that kind of place, but I'm so glad for it. Almost without fail, I go to other Twitch streams, and just the chat is such a turn-off, I have to completely close it. That might make this place seem somewhat elitist or uncaring or uninviting, and I think it's all the better for it. But that is simply my opinion. Just like it's my opinion that I need more of the upper echelon of society here. So we should be separated by a path. I don't want to stumble out and straight into my neighbour's living room. It doesn't want me to build more nobility, but I don't know. Oh! For some reason I can't build it there. Probably, possibly, because of the hovel. It probably doesn't want to be next to this stinky, awful place. Well, I can do something about that, I'm sure. Be gone! Ah, and this is why I am a god to my people. Sadly, removing the undesirables was not enough to get this built here. Is it because of uneven terrain? Terrain elevation, says Protozomac. I'm not sure if we can do that or do anything about that. Planter, edge, vibrant, young, da 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 da. If you build shops, it'll move a farmer. Best thing is to only build in flooding season. Well, the farming or the planting has already been done. The rest is just harvesting it. So hopefully that's okay for now. Well, hopefully. But I do still need more farmers. Wait, why did I build 5? I only need 4 there. Donk. Yeah, I'm with you, TBW. We need a statue. I think as soon as the harvesting is done, I'm going to put my people to work building things so that the world can remember me. Seti. The Seti, the first abode. See, it put it in the first for me. I wonder if that means that I can die. Do I have an age? Do I have information on myself? Only one family lives at the palace, yours. And this magnificent royal residence also impacts some prestige in your dynasty. Constructing it costs nothing. In fact, when you arrive at your new familial estate, you might well find your own modest supply of food and bricks waiting for you. Food harvested, working families, enhancements. I do really want to enhance my home. I have quite a few bricks, but I also need food. But I have a lot of food. I just need more bricks. I wonder if there's a limit to how many bricks can be stored somewhere. 14 bricks are ready. Do I have a storage cache of my own? Yeah, those are bricks, alright. So that and the 14 make the 39 we see here. Right. Ud Jas Sobek family get to work. Now this makes me think, could I rename them the Brickies? And then, yes! Because of course the people are going to live and die. Well, I assume they are. But they'll still always be the Brickies. See, I like that. Come on, I've seen that primitive technology guy make a whole load of bricks. You can get to it. Whatever happened to him? I haven't seen any primitive technology stuff in about 2 years, maybe. I even bought his book. Did he take my money and run? That's what I would have done, so fair play to him. He quits as ICPT. Didn't he do a big fundraiser or something? I recall him making like a fat chunk of money. He bought a bunch of land to do that on. He stopped doing YouTube stuff due to the excessive copycat channels, Jake. Huh. Well, that's a shame. There are a lot of copycats out there, and some of their stuff's really good. He got peeved at the no. Really? I would have thought that stuff would be flattering. If I found like a dozen other channels doing their own weekly one-shots, I'd be quite happy about it. I make the kind of content that I want to watch. Ah well, teach their own. Can I ask who you were copying at the beginning? Yeah, Lucky, of course. It's not something I like to admit, but Lucky came up with the whole concept of 2 hours of hell. I didn't even thank him. I didn't even ask him, I just stole it. But it's not about who does it first, it's about who does it better. Of course, that evolved into the weekly one-shot. 2 Hours of Hell's a French-Canadian idea, that's why it had no future. Just like the developers of Eternal Darkness, no future. Oh, that's a little too sore. In the slightest chance that one of them might end up watching this someday. Your game was very interesting, just wasn't for me, and it was quite bad. Right. Soon the waters will come in, and I need to be ready for it with more farmers. But that's why I built up more farmhouses. Who came up with the idea for the weekly one-shot? That was a rare case of my own original idea. I was, for a long time, actually feeling a bit frustrated with the 2 Hours of Hell format, because I was actually running out of games that you could beat in 2 hours. And I was like, wouldn't it be nice if, you know, we could just have like 4 Hours of Hell? And I was like, I can't just have a 4 Hours of Hell on 2 Hours of Hell format. So I decided to call it the weekly one-shot. And that way I got rid of most of the arbitrary blockades and just put up some new ones. I think you need a granary for food to count. Well, I thought the granary I have to put inside my own pal. Oh, maybe you mean that's what it needs for the food to count for building up my granary with. Oh, no. There we go, it counts the food in the bricks. But, oh man, statues cost a lot of bricks. I want my own garden though. I want this place to look more lush. I also want some... small pyramid? It needs limestone, God knows how we get that. Humble brick tombs providing prestige. A small statue. Don't I get statues from the statue shop? Or the sculptor?
It's funny that you think I would know that.
Anubis. Anubis reclining. Beast sitting. Bricks and small statues. See, I'm left wondering where we get these small statues made. 150 bricks. They weren't kidding when they said this game needs a lot of bricks. Wouldn't mind having my own private hospital, though. We'll keep it far away from the people so they don't get any funny ideas about being entitled to my healthcare. There we go. Yeah, this tells me that I'm going to need a whole lot more brickies. But the bricky wants to be close to the soil here so he can get his, well, his bricks. There we go. How good was or is Egyptian healthcare? I don't know, so I can't risk talking out of my ass about that. Come on, I want my garden. Oh my goodness, I have my own private pomegranate tree? In the off chance that somebody watching this knows, how, as a European, can you best acquire a large amount of dried pomegranates? I once ordered a small batch of them from something. What the heck was it called? I don't know, but it had a really fancy name. Something like the Jewels of Samarkand, that was it. But it was small and very expensive, and I want lots of them. Because I love pomegranates. But, actually handling pomegranates is well, I've tried a lot of different tricks to easily defruit a pomegranate, and none of them have been quick, easy, and clean. Some have been quick, some have been easy, and some have been clean, but none have been all three. Rosa, I want to unashamedly fill a giant pot with them and shove my face into them. I love all fruits apart from star fruits. Not star fruits, dragon fruits. And even then, they look good. Whoa! Jings, these slaves are getting better at their work. Better than that one guy Hasifu squatted down and built the whole palace. Now it actually looks like... well, my house has turned into a home. If you can forgive the Nintendo 64 level of textures here, and I certainly can, it's a very pretty game. Exceedingly so. Almost undeservedly so. Now, where's my hospital? I need those bricks operational. Yeah, cheap, fast, good, pick two. That's the situation with doing in a pomegranate. I've seen some tricks where you make the carvings, turn it upside down, spread it out, and smack it with a wooden spoon, and all the seeds fall out. Never works like that. Never ever. I hope to never play Majora's Mask again in my life. Great game, but the thought of doing the Stone Temple again just fills me with grief. Randomize was cool though. It's just a shame I had no way to win that. Freaking light arrows in both Ocarina of Time and the Majora's Mask randomizer doing me in. It was like some kind of cruel joke. Such long streams as well to fail at the end. Nice sound effect that, the hitting of bricks. Even the building up looks good. You know, Tropico doesn't make their building work look this good. And the only thing Tropico does these days is look good. If you move to Croatia or another Mediterranean country, your problem would be solved. Excellent point, Rosa. You know, for a very dead Tentacruel, you make excellent points. Why do you have to be so weak to Earthquake? Alright, I'm keen to see what's going to happen when I actually give these people Egyptian level healthcare. It's coming along nicely, and as you build that up, well, I would hope that my brickies are continuing to get the bricks ready for me, but I suppose I'm gobbling them up for my personal garden. Where are we in the season, though? I'd like some... I guess I can just look at the water, but I can't... well, it's probably not planting season, otherwise they'd be planting. I guess it's just get your butt to work season. There we go. The hospital has never been opened. No patients can be treated. Nobody has been served last year, and there's a low demand for healthcare. Hospitals are tended by physician priests who provide high care of medical care. Oh, I probably should have built an apothecary to start us out. First stop when citizens feel unwell. Well, at least I have my own one. And somebody was asking about how ancient Egyptian medicine was. Egyptian funerary practices bestowed a good understanding of anatomy. The physicians were well aware of the circulatory system. They considered nerves and tendons to be outgrowths of the heart. They knew the brain controls the body, and healed skulls attest to patients surviving brain injury as early as 3000 before Christ. They listened to patients' complaints, examined bodily discharges, and performed other diagnostic methods that would be familiar to doctors today. Injuries and parasitic afflictions were pretty straightforward. Infectious agents were mysterious, blamed on occult forces, identified and addressed. Wearing amulets featured prominently. Medicine was much more practical in primitive cultures. Average life expectancy. Okay, this is misleading. This almost definitely takes into account infant mortality. A number of surviving papyri gives insults and gynecological knowledge, including contraception and pregnancy aids. Magical spells for preventing evil. Herbal medicines included myrrh, coriander, fennel, thyme. Making their patients delicious with all that. Even onions and garlic considered health foods. Consumed in great quantity. Oh, I won't say it, but I know you're thinking it. Sand gets into everything, wears down teeth, dental problems and cavities, mummies of false teeth, physicians appointed by government, scribes, priests. I love this, right? Why can't more games that are based on history have historical almanacs. Maybe they're afraid of inaccuracies. TBW. He knows about the onions and garlic. Wow. I was actually playing quite a bit of WarioWare recently. Grinding up my points to buy everyone the prezzies. This, I love seeing them all industriously slaving away to bring me my food.
Your prestige is rising.
Educated men remark that you are no longer deficient in well, damn right, never was. It was all a ruse. Now give me more bricks so I can become more prestigious. What other things can I have for myself and nobody else? Decoration is fun and costs you nothing. Just box this person in with trees so I don't have to look at them from my own home. I love the fact that it calls it fun. Hold on, does that mean I can have these as well? Ooh. That's probably going to attract so many midgies. Can I plaza as well? Purple and green plaza? Yes. Doesn't look as purple or as green as I would like. Actually, where's the purple? I'm not colorblind. I am totally not colorblind. But there's no purple here. There we go. Relics is getting his daily dose here today. Still, I want more things that elevate me above the scrubs of society. How about my own personal shrine? Yes. Does it consider the tree in the way? Can even cast aside the trees better than I can in black and white. But yes, my own personal shrine seems like a correct way of doing things. It's growing. It's growing so much.
Outstanding in my field? I don't get it.
So, can anybody ascertain the nationality of the Tilted Mill developers? See, quite often you find Germanics are behind these kinds of games. And on top of that, that was some pretty Germanic tier humor.
I'm always glad to see so many
Visually, this is putting me in mind of the Islanders a bit. I think it's just the type of houses that we have. But, yeah, and the way they're laid down here. Reminds me very much of Islanders. The trouble is Islanders isn't a game I can come back to because it's quite dull. You play it once, you get your score, and then you're like, okay, well I don't want to do this anymore. For me, it's the cities are too ephemeral. Not dedicated to any deity. Can we change that? Ooh. I will admit, I do not know Egyptian gods. Well, I don't know what they are. I obviously know them from the Prince of Egypt song. Nut, mut, Ptah, Ptah, yes! Can't go wrong with Ptah, but Ptah, who are you and what do you do? Respected professionals are the priests. Well, good for them. I don't know what you do, Ptah, but I'm behind you now. Was there an Egyptian god of luck or fortune? Because I could get behind that. Ptah is holding a staff or a sword or something. And he's got some nasty, gangly, four-toed feet going on. And he looks suspiciously like a monkey. This is just paranoia sitting in, seeing monkeys everywhere. Can I switch it out? Oh, I can. Ptah is the creator. Ptah is the god of craft. So who's the god of fate? Shy. Do we have access to Shy? It would appear not. Okay, well, luck hasn't been on my side lately. Perhaps that's just as well.
I'm looking forward to a quiet evening at home.
Thought you would have learned all about the Egyptian gods from Nancy Drew. They didn't touch on the gods much there, they just had the Anunnaki. But when it comes to the Anunnaki, I fear that Dominions 5 taught me more than anything about it. I'm really glad to see those bricks pouring in. I need a personal upgrade right about now. I don't really want murals though. By the way, do I have enough of everything here right now? People probably want some entertainers. Can we get some... Our entertainers' infrastructure? Facilities? Private homes? Ooh. Alright, let's have some clowns jumping around. Like we're playing Roller Coaster Tycoon or Theme Park. Try not to remind myself how disappointed I was in Theme Park playing that. Such a blast from my past, but to find out that it was actually not very good was pretty souring. Oh, don't tell me I accidentally... Oh well, I did accidentally. Bye bye home, I'm gonna want that back. I am certainly going to want that back. Where is my palace? I hope this snowballs, says McCreed. Well, I'm probably going to be over my limit on farmers pretty soon. And oh, it doesn't look like it's harvest or planting season, so there should be enough time for people to go and fix it for me. I've got nowhere to live. I've been thrown out of my home. No, hang on, we can do better than that. I thought I had the Nicky I've been thrown out of my home thing ready to rock and roll, but it's been a while since I posted it, so I don't have it quick to hand. Okay, this is suddenly becoming more effort than it's worth, just trying to find the voice lines. Nope, not happening. Oh well. Oh man, now my home looks all sorts of not good enough. On the plus side, I can give myself some nice fountains. Yeah, go for it. That gave me time to get the extra bricks. Makes my home look a bit grim without it though. Do you have a dedicated granary, or does everyone just sort of store stuff in your house? They store stuff in their own houses. The families, the shops, they all keep things there. I am a little curious how my own granary would work. I didn't see the option to have dedicated granaries around here, though. Oh, well, now I do. They hold the government's, that's right, my surplus food. But if I'm going to have a granary, I'd rather have my granary, so I'll build up my nice fountain. And then I'll have my own granary. It's the way the Egyptians would want it to be. The nobles are one-upping me here. What do you have going on? They've got their servant quarters, an enclosed wall, a pool. Servants' quarters, pool. I wonder how many enhancements they get and how far they go. Oh, Cribbins, there's a lot going on. If you want a nobleman to grow a particular type of food on his estate to pay in taxes, tell him by right-clicking on his townhouse. They'll do shopping when they aren't managing. Noblewomen shop vigorously. They expect that all... abundance, townhouses, high-priced household wares. Well, good for them. Are they seen to? They don't have proper healthcare. Well, I got your hospital right here. Is it because I have no priests? Maybe it's because I don't have an apothecary and they'd rather go there instead. And they don't have a mortuity? Mortuary. Again, keep these kinds of good services away from the ne'er-do-wells. There we go. That's going to eat into my personal granary, so we'll hold off on that for a little bit. The cross sticks next to the map enforce your will with an edict. Great Pharaoh, would you like to change any government policies? Release food to the estates. Why would I do that? Stop collecting no! Additional taxes on every private home. Raw materials are available for free. A holiday. Proclaim a holiday sale. Yes, yes. My righteous reign. And of course, I'm not going to be the one that pays for it. Taxes. Taxes will take care of everything. Alleviates famine. Listen, famine is just nature's way of picking off those that couldn't work hard enough. We have everything we need here to keep ourselves well fed, and perhaps even trade to make ourselves more prestigious. Which is another thing I'm keen to see. Looks like we need prestige to do exploration. No, I think that's it. It doesn't cost. Requires food and envoys, so I need to be able to get myself some envoys. This Pharaoh's on par with Heldon's shepherd. I haven't watched any of Andromeda yet. I will probably get around to that. Maybe tomorrow evening. I haven't caught up on the VOD. I watched all of Mass Effect 3 though. Good game, terrible ending, but 2 was the best one. And I don't think I'll ever play any of them. Come on, get to work. Oh, well, they did. Where's my fountain? Ooh. I personally prefer my fountains to have flowing water coming out, because I like the sound of, well, flowing water, splashing water. Swollen gums embarrass poorly nourished citizens and raise demand for dental services.
Life is short. We shall spend more of it partying.
Wave after wave of ugly, ugly Egyptians. But they're my ugly Egypt. Oh my god. He looks like a stained plastic bag. Yeah, no, this is Nintendo 64 levels of ugly. But not ugly as in I don't like it, just acknowledging how incredibly ugly it is. It's quite endearing. But the street rave feels somewhat more alive than even the people in Frostpunk do. Hard to say, hard to articulate what I mean by that, but people that walk around in Frostpunk don't really do anything other than walking from work to home, or occasionally to a protest where they just stand there. These people are just doing whatever the hell they want. Benu Washotep here is just celebrating good conditions. Mistreated by the government with excessive taxation. That's alright, I keep them sweet with everything else. I don't know why I'd want food at this point. Food is the one thing that I have gorillions of. I need bricks. People should be indentured into making me bricks forevermore. Ah, there we go. The brickmaker child. You're too young for the street festival. You're not ready for the level of ugly there. The camera swivel here feels inverted to me, so I'm trying to get some finesse. What was that icon above his head? Seemed like an I don't know. The bricks are ready. But I want my private granary, so go and build more bricks for me once it's... Right, at this rate the celebration is cancelled. Get back to work. Oh, I can't rescind it. Well, I can personally go out there and tell them to get back to work as I play the imaginary drums on my lap. Oh man, never give your people holidays. Okay, well, I'm learning important lessons here. They don't deserve holidays. Oh, but they are getting back to work in the future. No, they're just sending their kids, aren't they? The women and the children out to tend to the plants whilst the men continue to party down. They're poking fun at their own mechanics here, but that's okay. All seems to be done in good faith. I didn't want to get too excited and approach that early pandy, but this isn't the last that I'm going to be looking at Children of the Nile. I think this has great potential for building up large, beautiful cities in. Even more so than Caesar 3. Caesar 3 has a timeless 2D aspect to it, but I have played that game to death. This game, though, although the 3D is ugly, it is endearing. Plus, Caesar 3 doesn't quite let you live out the totalitarian fantasies that I feel could be had here. I mean, you don't see people do this in Caesar 3. The plants just magically grow up for you. I've never been one for wonders in games, so I'm not sure how much appeal big pyramids are going to have here. But I'd have to try it once to find out. Okay, the hospital and the shrine were definitely overkill. Didn't need either of them. Well, they haven't been used whatsoever. There was cult temples here. Citizens worshipping here. Also, I didn't check out the entertainers. What do you do, entertainers? Everyone in this self-employed middle-class family earns food by amusing other people who can afford their services. So is this the... Oh, Crivens, what is it called? You do it in the awful Sims DLC. You dial up somebody and make them go to Singagram. That's it. So this is the ancient Egyptian Singagrams. In hard times you can find them performing in the streets. That's not much better than begging. Their real livelihood comes from performing. Okay. Human statues. Gotcha.
If it weren't for the worker people, I don't think I could bear to live.
Yeah, no, I like this. It's just a very modest outpost we have here, but it feels so alive. I'm not sure if this is something that I would long play or just wild card in the kind of way that I did Caesar 3 in the past. Feels like it would be a dangerous game to binge on. I wouldn't want to fall out with it over that. Right, I want my personal granary. Get those bricks flowing. I just need a few more. I am getting the impression, though, that if you want a leg up in life, you don't need 1 or 2 brickworks. You need a dozen of them. And then you should be able to build up all the infrastructure and things you need. I can't remember if the townhouses required bricks. No, you just put them down. I also wonder if there's a way to terraform, because this bumpy up thing's a bit of a pain. War of the Overworld did lose my favour quite quickly, but that campaign was awful. Alright, time for me to have the food. Get me that granary. Comfortable residence. It feels like these enhancements would cause them to be able to have more farms supported, and it does. Right, you are now a medium estate. We can actually support a couple more farmers, which I think we already have, because we have 18 out of 18. Does that add up? 4 and 6 is 10, and 6 is 16. And another 4 should be 20. It's actually 8 out of 18 because of homes that I have, not because of what I've built up. So I can actually get myself some more farmers before the next floodplain comes in. Floodplain? There's got to be a better word for it. The next coming of the water. I guess it would be receding, actually. And then they can get to bloody work. It says max farms 20 on the right side of that info. That it does. Good old El Coro being my 3rd and 4th eye. I like the color palette in this game. I think Egyptian-based games, like Pharaoh, can run the risk of being a little too dusty, but this one's got a great palette going for it. Of course, I'm also disgusted with a lot of modern games who, visually, yeah, it doesn't gel with me. Right, finish off my private granary. I deserve to have the food myself. And it's time for my little people to get to it. This must look amazing if you have about 100 farming families going out like rats to infest the fertile soil. The word you were looking for is inundation. I was. I remember the span of what was it? Bloom and Gloom? Bloom and Gloom? I think that was it. Brown and Bloom, maybe. Now we're talking. My own private granary. Didn't enhance the amount of farms that I can support, but I'm imagining that I'm able to hold more food now. I wonder if there's a limit to how much that can be held, or if there's a visualization of that. Well, whatever the case, don't worry, all my plebeians. I'll make sure your food is kept good and safe in my own abode. Oh wow, something must have bulked up. Was it you? Yeah, these are now both medium estates, so we can have even more farmers going down. This is where it would pay for me to figure out more on the scales of production. For example, I don't know a good ratio of shops to farmhouses. Clicking around the farmhouses tells me that everybody's getting most of what they need, at least. So it seems that maybe one shop for every 10 farmhouses is holy moly, what? Sacred crocodiles. Very hard to make viable in Dominions 5. But if nothing else, they are large sacks of sacred hit points. Crocodiles, hippos, and lions are dangerous animals. Noblemen and other elite civies hunt them down as leisure, to the bemusement of more prudent people. The pressures of managing their vast estate finally get to them. Nobles need to kick back, relax, and enjoy themselves. That's what I like to do all the time. The recreation, the longer a noble goes without recreation or entertainment, the greater his need grows. He'll throw the biggest feast he can afford. Well, good on them. Recreation, set up and hunt lions. Other nobles, they form a hunting party. Now that sounds really cool. Are they just going to do that on their own? This guy's got a wee thing above him. Does that mean he's marked for slaughter? I don't know. I'm unsure about that one, Jorlum. I haven't seen any priests appear. Priests work at da-da-da-da-da. Like any employees, they get their food as the salary from your bakery. I did build my bakery, right? I'm sure I did. Right, prestige determines how many men we can lead. So maybe I'm not prestigious enough to have priests yet. Sounds reasonable. Yeah, so it is possible this thing just isn't opening up because I'm not prestigious enough. Yeah, here we go. I have 10 prestige. mostly because of my single palace. So I have no active hospitals out of one built. Priests. Maybe I need special priestly homes? Right, there we go. The priests need an apartment. There we go. It's only right that the nobility and the religious heads are close by.
Are you as happy as I am these days?
Oh, that and more so. This is why you needed to play the second tutorial. Perhaps, but I wanted to jump in the game and play around with it a bit more. The game gave me a taste and I wanted to just bite into it rather than having another appetizer. I don't trust the integrity of this building. My single building friend here, Atamu Shepstan, the bricklayer.
I just can't believe how quickly they use stuff up.
Ooh, that looks better than my first palace. The home will be occupied soon. So is my prestige going to go up due to having more of these things, or... Ooh, just like in real life I get prestige for doing exploits. Otherwise though, no, I don't think just having priests is going to build up my prestige. But then again, it shows these, right? Surely if I have better healthcare from having this priest in, things will go better. And perhaps same with the shrine? But I bet the priest apartment can only hold one priest. We'll find out. The priest will arrive there soon enough. School's 15 bricks. Heavens knows we have that. I don't want these farmers going to school and learning how to be better people, so keep that for me and my good friends here. There we go. Where'd my priest go? Ah, he's inside doing... Whoa, Crivens. Is he in his confession booth or something? No, he's reading the scriptures in his favorite wall. Ah, no, there we go, there we go. You can get a peek through the cracks here. You know what? He looks like Max. We'll call him the Max Priest. This is pretty voyeurish. It certainly is. Oh, who's come in for a bit of confession there? Seeking a health checkup. Well, get on it, Max. Max doesn't want to see them. Wait, her? Kakra. I think that's a man. I'll explain why Max just stormed out of there. Oh, but you're also going to tend to the gods here. I wonder if you are juggling jobs there. Finns get around, Yoshu. Sure there are some in Egypt. Badly lost, no less. Okay, speaking of badly lost, I can't believe that was 2 hours of this already. This is not the last we've seen of Children of the Nile. I have had my expectations blown out of the water here. I've had the itch for Caesar 3 building up lately, and whilst I might still play a map or two of that, I think I might bring in Children of the Nile in the same way that I do Caesar 3. I want to see just how big and beautiful this game can get. Maybe run through the grand campaign to figure out how it works, and then just build up a damn nice big looking city. And I am under the impression, who was one of the first families that we named around here? I think we only did it in the tutorial, but yeah, the Brickies family. This is actually quite nice to bring in people's names, and it's going to persist even as they die because they keep the family name going.
It's just another brick for the wall.
Sure it is. Okay, delightfully impressed with this. Bringing my mood right up in order to be shot down, because now it's time for the dreaded Mr. Maze. How am I going to handle this? Well, actually, I'm just going to bring the stream down for a bit, grab a drink, maybe a quick bit of food, and then bring it back up with this Mr. Maze. So let's say I'll be back in 10 or 15 minutes, or... well, the longer I leave it, the later I go on into the night with it. In any case, cheers for this with Children of the Nile, and I'll be back shortly with Mr. Maze. Cheerio.